Hi everyone, thank you for attending to this conference and welcome to the Minalogic business meeting. I'm David GAL-REGNIEZ, I'm technical manager at Minalogic. And before I start my talk, I would like to say that the conferences are live and online. So for people who are online, you can ask questions or make some comments on the chat. So don't hesitate. We with my colleague, will speak for you during these conferences. So why sustainable and smart innovation, and what is about my talk? I'm not an expert, but I would like to introduce the subject about the sustainable and smart. It's quite important to have these objectives. Innovation and to introduce you all the talks you will have during the day. So why sustainable and smart innovation? Earth is ill. Earth has fever. And even today, the weather is crying. And the first change we can notice is the climate change. We are facing to more and more climate disturbance, like storm, flooding, or record-breaking precipitation, hurricanes, drought. So, and the trend is not very optimistic. The last projection, excuse me, made by the researcher, and you can read in the JEC survey, indicates that are describing the consequences of an increase of 1.5 degree of Earth. And these projections are very scary. The global warming of Earth is mainly due to an exponential increase of carbon emissions into the atmospheres for less than 1 century. The main sources of this pollution are mainly due to energy consumption and mobility, but not only. The pollution we can symbolize by this visible symbol of the seventh continent, which is an ocean of waste in the Pacific Ocean, is mainly visible, but there is a lot of pollution which is invisible, like microparticles on the air or in the water. So the consequences are very dramatic to our health also, and we know that the pollution can be in long term too. So we have to take into account this problematics, and the last one is the consequence of our human activities, the sixth mass extinction and the loss of biodiversity. So what can we do now for this? The main issue I would like to speak about, and it's more an issue that we can influence or we can manage, is the awareness of the problematics. Not only about what I described in the previous slide, but about the complexity of what determines the situation in which we are. We have to considerate also the question of fundings, because if we want to change, it's not only a question of behavior, but a question of money. And we need to think about the evolution of the ecosystems, the key role of investors, which criteria are taken into account to invest in new technologies, for example, and about the public policy, like requirement specification we can have for any call to fund innovation. But we have to face two more difficult issues, and especially during the last 3 years, we had to face the pandemic situation, but also the last one, which quite dramatic, with the war in Ukraine, and what historian calls the return of passion. It means that the will of some government, of some leaders to have in mind some historical empire and so on, and have no more the same logic to manage political relationship. We faced also about shortage, and we know that it's quite difficult to have mustard, but it's just an example. The question of food and the supply of food, especially in some area like Africa, is quite important now. We, as industrial people, are facing the lack of electronic components. So the question of shortage is a question very important now. The third consideration we have to manage is more a question of ideology, and we have to be sit at the same table and to reduce, with the will to reduce the gap between biosphere and technosphere. So we have to be smart. Smart means that we have to take into account some legal requirements about environmental and societal consideration. Is quite be it must be under control. But if we want to appeal this change, we have to manage some. We have to take some decision for the business too, and to find the right balance between sustainability and profit. So to abord the question of awareness, you have the possibility to follow the talk of Hélène Camporsi from green bashing to reintegration of sustainability in organizational innovation strategies, policies and practices just after me. So, but if we want to change things, we have to understand in order to be able to decide what to do. But before to do that, we have to understand a very fundamental concept, which is the notion of impact. What is impact? So we have some question about that, and you can have answer during the presentation of Nicolas Sabatier about peeing in the shower will not be enough. Detect and disseminate globally 100 innovation to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Once we define what is an impact or project or innovation, we need to implement some new indicators, norm or tools, or new working method to evaluate what we do and what is the impact for the environment, for the society in which we live. We have the possibility to develop some new user-centered approaches and technology. And during the cycle of conference today, we will see how artificial intelligence or satellite imagery can help to give some information and how we can bring or to build some tools to help us to decide with awareness. We have for that, for example, I recommend you to be present at the presentation of Arnaud Pachot from Open Studio about the smart and sustainable reindustrialization, artificial intelligence as a tool, atlas of productive synergies as an experimental project. We have to innovate by the methodology in which we work or we sell products. And Philip Rice from HPE will speak about the future of computing in a sustainable world to develop this methodology and how HPE move forward to evaluate and to take into account a new sustainable approach in the way they make their business. The last thing, which I will speak more in detail after, is the design from the nature. And then when we, because it's quite a new problematic in the world, we have to evaluate initiatives which are coming. So about reinventing the way to innovate, I spoke about the nature in the heart of the innovation. I think it's quite important to integrate new way of innovating. And by disrupting methodology, we have some new existing approaching, like innovation by constraint or the frugality made from the Indian Jugaad concept. Or we used to speak about user-centered innovation, but we need to make more sustainability-oriented methodology. And for that, we have to think about how make nature in the heart of our reflection. And thanks to Adrian Sansardos from CBOS, Nicolas Roche, and Pierre-Alex from Zoepolis, we will speak about the nature at the heart of the smart and sustainable innovation. And we will speak about bio-inspiration, biomimetics, and how to get further in this way. And to be very concrete, we will speak about the Zoepolis initiative. But as I say in the beginning, at the beginning of my talk, what is important is awareness, and the awareness is depending how we reach to involve people in the change. So people are the key gamer in this responsibility and the capacity to change things. But we have to avoid the guilt tripping and make it fun as possibly as more as possible. So we have the opportunity to listen Alain Servigné et Capucine Jean-Lambert about how to lead people to be the motor of your sustainable innovation, sensibilization, training, gamification, project management, crowd innovation, and so on. We will see with Guillaume Claire how the immersive technology can be also a power tool, and Guillaume will speak about inclusion. But concretely, we need to understand how the main structure, like research laboratories, big companies, and local authority, may change, are going to change inside, and how they manage the change inside their structure. So during the panel discussions, we will have the opportunity to discover that with a representative of SPI, ICS, and CER, and Region 24. To go deeper, we will have the possibility to explore some sector like the media and the space industry. The objective is to help you to understand concretely what happened in some in some sector. So with Greg Motherdale from the Wealth cluster, which is partner of the event, and Cédric Lejeune from Workflower, we will speak about the media industry and the concept of greening the screen. So with European vision, so European initiative in the media industry for smarter and more sustainable innovation. Media industry has begun a huge mutation, and there is a lot of innovation and initiatives, but now we have to coordinate in a European way. The second sector we will explore is the space industry, and especially the paradox from the space industry, because space industry is very pollutant, and but brings some powerful tools to understand the state of the Earth. So the interest of that is to understand how a pollutant industry may mutate and bring some tools and some helps to manage the necessity to have more sustainable business and action on Earth. So Sita Santi from BCG will speak about that and how to manage this paradox in a context of an international regulation and the necessity to have a smart innovation approach by our talk about the innovation for the climate change, the paradox of the space industry. Another point is strategical orientation and funding. So, as I said previously, transition needs investments. Micro investments. We can change the way we move, and the industry of mobility needs a lot of micro investments and public investments. But we can manage the transition for the industrialization, but without forgiving the coaching for change. As I say, funding may be an accelerator for this transition to sustainability, and we have to get some solution to have the possibility to do it. Is Europe a main opportunity? With Alpmut Nagel from the European Commission and Laure Catin from Minalogic, we will see how European Commission has taken position for that, and what kind of funding we can have to manage your transition. So the talk from Alpmut and Laure will be about the overview of the European funding opportunities to finance smart and sustainable transition projects. And to finish my talk, if you have any question, don't forget to put them in the chat. I would like to end with a short extract from a book I just read, and it's Baleine, Whales, by Paul Garden, which was a contemporary writer from Paul Camus. And I just read the extract, but to situate the story, the novel is about whales which is lying on a beach, and a couple want to go to see it on the beach. And at the end, they are talking, and the woman said to his man, "We had believed to see only a sandy beast. We contemplated a dead planet. But perhaps it will be enough that there is only one pure being in the world. Maybe I say, well, if each of us tried to become this being, that at least depends on us." And that's my conclusion. I think if we want to change things, we have to change ourselves, and it all depends on us. Thank you very much. Do you have any question? Any question, comments? No?